Offside Sports continues from the Loft 100 studios in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Find their awesome lineup of portable speakers, turtleboxaudio.com. Thank you, as always, to Harry Arnett, Mark Wahlberg, everybody at Municipal for being the official wardrobe sponsor of Offside Sports. Municipal, bet on yourself. You can find them at municipal.com. Dave Pele, Mike Costa with you here in studio inside the Loft 100 studios. Allison Ratzlaff, our third co-host. On assignment, as they say. All we know is that she's up in Northern California. I had no idea that your dad was in the publishing and radio business. Al?
Yeah, he was the newspaper publisher at the Oakland Tribune, and then with the Arkansas Democrat, and then the Elkhart Truth, and owned a group of radio stations in the Midwest, Chicago, and Indiana area.
So he could have given us jobs and stuff when we were all getting out of college instead of having to go through the hell we had to go through. Now you tell us.
It's been in my blood since I was born.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the NBA All-Star festivities this past weekend?
I did not. I just did not. The All-Star
You sound almost guilty. I did not, Father. I did not.
I really ever want to go to is if I can go in person. I think it would be fun. And I've been to baseball All-Star games. I've always had a great time. But the TV ones, they just don't interest me. I didn't watch a peep of the Pro Bowl either. So
you mean the flag football competition?
I don't know. Do these guys want to be doing this? What if they get injured? Speaking of injuries, I just think it's a risk, and I don't know. What really is the point of it? You guys tell me.
Well, I think it's Dave. You're an NBA fan?
Yeah, I covered the NBA for 10 years, covering the Lakers and Clippers for 10 years.
Okay, did you watch any of the All-Star game?
You know what's funny? It used to be a can't-miss thing for me. As a kid, I loved it. I loved it back in the day when Spud Webb was in the slam dunk contest. I loved it when it was Larry Nance and Dr. J. And you look back at the dunks, and they're embarrassing how bad they are compared to what you see now. But I've been in person. I loved everything about the NBA, and I'm so turned off right now of what's happening in the NBA. And so it was in L.A.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been to a few of them in Los Angeles, which I think, honestly, they should keep in L.A. or Madison Square Garden every single year. Forget, this is not one that should travel.
Yeah.
All the arenas are basically the same, but it's different when you have a big, famous fan base. But overall, Mike, it was terrible. And they're trying to fix it. It was great back in the 80s, and dating myself, when you had Magic Johnson on one team and you had Isaiah Thomas on the other, and they were the guys that dictated the rhythm of the game.
Yeah.
Now it's just wide open, layups, dunks. It's complete waste of time. It's not competitive. It's embarrassing for the league. The league is struggling big time right now. Actually, as a guy that's a basketball fan, I hate the way the NBA is right now. The load management has killed this game. And to say, hey, look, I got tickets, and if you were to tell me, hey, guess what, Alice and I, we're going up and we're going to see LeBron or we're going to see Luka, and he's going to play against Wemby.
Yep. And
then you get there and two of the three guys aren't playing, but you still paid all that money for the tickets. As a fan, which the NBA doesn't seem to care about, you're ripped off, and the brand stinks right now.
As far as the ratings are concerned, it's one of the higher rated All-Star games in years past. They peaked at about 10 million viewers across Peacock and NBC and the platforms that they were on.
So there's an argument against those.
Average about 8.8 million. Allison, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Allison, they're skewed because the Olympics is going on the same station at the same time. So those ratings are skewed.
Oh, I have a theory on it also. I think you're exactly right. I was going to hit on that with the Olympics, and I also think the weather across the country has been pretty terrible. And so I think people are in the NFL ended, and I think people are inside and they're just trying to find something to watch. So I think that has a little something to do with it.
Yeah.
And NFL postseason depression, all of those things. So I think that plays into it. Did people put it on their calendar, must-see TV? I don't know about that. I mean, when my boys were young growing up, they loved the dunk contest.
Yes.
They loved it. I mean, it was, loved it. But again, does anybody really have this on their calendar circled? Got to watch the NBA All-Star game?
Well, okay, so it was 4.7 million people tuned in last year, which was a disaster for the NBA. So obviously, 8.8 to 10 million people across those platforms is great for the league. But I'm like you, Dave, and Allison, I was like your little boys when I was that age. You couldn't wait to see them play and you couldn't wait to see those, Lakers players having to go against Boston Celtics players and, Bulls players when Michael Jordan was just running the league. And they were playing to win the game.
Yes.
And you're like, this is so awesome. And I remember tuning, making, hey, so-and-so plays so-and-so Saturday night or whatever it was in the NBA Sunday. I'm tuning in to watching that. Dave, Allison, I could not tell you the last time I made appointment viewing to sit down and watch an NBA game. It's been so long. And I don't know if it's just because the product is watered down, because these guys don't look like they're giving any effort until we hit the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because the politics that has entered into it, but it is a horrible product. Allison, you mentioned if you're going there, you're in person. If you've got good seats, let's say at a place like Staples Center where we've all seen games before, that's one thing. But to sit there and to have to sit through that crap for 2 hours on a television, I could see where the NBA is in trouble financially.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. It's fun to go in person, but I haven't watched any NBA since the playoffs last year. And that's probably when I'll pick it up this year. And as somebody who's works in sports, not just this show, but other areas, I can't get into it on a day-to-day basis.
Dave,
and also the season feels like it's a century long. And people say that about baseball too. Now baseball I will sit and watch, but I don't know. It's just different.
It literally is, congratulations to who won the NBA championship last year? That's how tuned out I am.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you go right away, because I was thinking when you said the last time you tuned in, I bet you I could guess. It was when LeBron played against Steph Curry in the finals.
Yes.
And that was almost 10 years ago.
Okay, thank you.
That's probably the last time you tuned in and go, I got two superstars on both sides. I want to see what happens.
So Adam Silver, he presents the Larry O'Brien championship trophy, and then I swear to God the next day, all right, we're tipping off the NBA season. I mean, that's Allison, to your point about how long and drawn out the season is.
By the way, it was Oklahoma City Thunder.
Thank you. God. Okay, but Dave, I ask you, does the NBA care that old man me yelling at clouds doesn't watch the NBA and thinks it's boring? Does the NBA care that Allison, who now has grown men as sons who are, I would assume, still NBA fans, or the mom, Allison, doesn't watch the NBA? Do they even care about that?
Well,
because we're not the core.
Well, the core is what they say is the audience 25 to 54. That's always the sports audience. That's the audience that spends money on cars, buys insurance, buys houses. That's their audience. They're the ones that can afford the tickets or the luxury boxes. So it's one where the NBA should care that it's not talked about a lot here. Also, people want to say there's a big issue with the players, the Europeans that have come over. It's like we used to see guys that would make it through college, they'd stay 3 or 4 years, become attached to them. Now all of a sudden you're getting a guy like Luka you never heard about until he got here, or you're getting a Jokic and a Giannis, a Wemby, and it goes like even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's from Canada. When's the last time an American-born player won MVP of this league? It's been a long time, and so some people want to make it political, like you said, on why they won't watch, Mike. But I'll be honest, I think the number one problem with the NBA is the calendar's messed up. The NBA should start on Christmas Day. There's no reason the NBA should start in October against college football and the NFL.
It gets swallowed up.
And you start on Christmas Day, you keep the season longer. When the summertime comes around and you're sitting there going, it's just baseball. We only have baseball. Guess what? You could run the NBA into August. And now it doesn't become a big of a deal if, Mike, you have a contract in Milwaukee and go, I'm tired of freezing in Milwaukee. Guess what? The weather changes faster. You can enjoy the summer in Milwaukee, Minnesota, wherever you are.
Yeah.
But the calendar's messed up for the NBA.
Well, and also remember the playoffs and the finals used to end around Memorial Day. Then it kept creeping closer to Father's Day. Last year it was past Father's Day. I mean, it's just extended way too long. Maybe each series in the playoffs is too long. I don't know.
Yeah, again, like
100%.
It is all money, and I think that what really screws it up. And Allison, to your point about, or Dave's point about the calendar and stuff, it used to be, hey, you played a game, you traveled, and you played a game the next night, and that's the way it went. Now you've got at points some major gaps in the schedule, especially when it comes to the playoffs, when everybody's tuning in. But then people like me are like, okay, is there a game tonight, or
Yes.
where do I? And that is another thing, Dave, to what you're saying about the schedule and the calendar being screwed up. And then you've got this format, as we put a bow on it, with the All-Star game, where it's the world versus the United States versus the whatever. It's bad. It's bad. All right, the branding in professional sports ain't bad by current and former athletes. It's at an all-time high. One former Dallas Cowboy has hit a home run with his beverage. We'll talk about that, what the hits and misses have been in the sports branding world next. Don't go anywhere.